I put milk in my tea for the first time in ages, and I really like it. Hello, my name is Audrey. This is my biannual bibliothon TBR for the summer biannual bibliothon of 2018. I filmed this yesterday, but then I changed it up a bit, so I thought I would refilm it. I have everything written down in my bullet journal right here, so sorry if I look to the side, but without further ado, let's get started. So the biannual bibliothon starts on the 14th of July and it goes to the 21st. During that week, I am actually driving back from Adelaide on the Sunday, which is the 15th. So I'm hoping, because I do have 6 books on this list, that I can, potentially 7, that I can read like 2 or more books in that like 10-hour car drive and finish this. Again, as I said, with the biannual bibliothon, there's 7 challenges. And you can double up, but you can't triple up. So you need to read a minimum of 4 books. And I have worked this TBR so that if I'm running out of time, I can read certain books that fit in 2 different categories to mean that I only need to read 4, but I have allocated 1 for every category just in case I get around to it. Sorry, I see my tea over there. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, I'm back. I have tea. Let's get into this. The first challenge is, at the moment, I'm using the book for challenge 1 and the last challenge. Challenge 1 is to read the group book, which this biannual bibliothon is The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. I'm also using this as the read the last book that you bought, because as it currently stands, this is the last book I bought. If I buy another one before then, I will add that in and try and read it. This book sounds really, really interesting. It's about a town where 3 women were drowned because they were accused of being witches, and every summer they return to the town and haunt or like inhabit the bodies of 3 women and lure men to the water to also drown. It's giving me major like mermaid vibes with like sirens and bringing men to the water, although it is about witches, not sirens. But either way, I'm very excited about this, and it will be very cool to read as part of like a group, because I've never done that before. The next book is to read a book that is on somebody else's TBR. This isn't on somebody else's TBR. It's on somebody else's recommended, but a lot of other, well, I got it from someone else's recommended list, but it is on other people's TBR's list that I've seen. I just can't remember it. And that is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. This sounds very, very, very cool. It sounds similar to Geekerella in the sense that it is about a convention. There is 2 characters, and one of them is autistic, which is interesting because I haven't read a book where the main character is autistic, and also she's a girl, and I haven't read anything about a woman who's autistic, and you don't see a lot of that at all, so it will be interesting. The next challenge is off the tri-chapter challenge. So you read a chapter of 3 different books, and then you choose off of that which you are going to read. I chose books that I already had for this challenge because the 2 books that I decide not to read, I am actually going to unhaul because I've had these for ages, and none of them I bought, I just kind of acquired them. So if I don't like them, I think I'm just going to chuck them. The first one I have for this is The Guy, the Girl, the Artist and His Ex by Gabrielle Williams. This is about 4 characters whose lives are all brought together after a painting is stolen from a gallery. The next one is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delaria. This is about a girl who is set an assignment to write a letter to a famous person, and she chooses Kurt Cobain because he died young and so did her sister, and then so she writes to him because she thinks that he'll understand, I guess, even though he's dead, but you know, and then she starts writing to a whole bunch of dead people, and yeah, I think it kind of heals her in a way. And the last one is The First Third by Will Kostakis. Just like The Guy, the Girl, the Artist and His Ex, Will Kostakis is actually a Melbourne author, which is pretty cool. I do love reading people who are from my own city, but this is about a boy growing up in a Greek family and just about kind of the family drama that happens. Next, we have a book that has been on your TBR list for over a year, and for this I have Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Her most recent book, I Was Born for This, I think, just came out recently. And I saw a whole bunch of people raving about it, and Radio Silence was the book that before that I had heard most people talk about. Solitaire doesn't seem to be liked as much, but Radio Silence is raved about, and this mainly came from Paperback Dreams, who was also the person who read Queens of Geek most recently that I watched. I love her, she's super cool, but this is her favourite book in the world as it currently stands, and I am excited to get into it. I don't really know what it's about at all, so I'm not gonna try and summarize it, but it sounds interesting. Sorry, that was bad. Next, we have a predicted 5-star read. A lot of the books on this list I am hopeful for, but the book that I have chosen for this is actually one I just picked up this morning from the library, and that is This One Summer by Gillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki, who are two cousins, and this is a graphic novel. I don't know if you've been following me for a little bit, you will know that I have been reading quite a few more graphic novels recently because they are super quick to get through, but I just love the whole visual storytelling, and this looks absolutely beautiful, and the cover feels beautiful. It sounds cool. It's about a girl who goes to the same beach every year with her family, except one summer they go and things are a little bit different because her parents are fighting, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be the summer that it always is. The next challenge is to read an Own Voices book about someone who is different from you. So Own Voices, if you don't know, is when the author, I'm going to try and describe it, is when the author is writing from a perspective that is close to them, but like specific to them in terms of like race or religion or ethnicity. Are they the same? Race and ethnicity? Or sexuality, or some like minority group like that. So I have chosen to read Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I also picked this up yesterday when I got The Wicked Deep. This kind of came out of the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I was thinking of picking up The Hate U Give, but this had a nicer cover and also is shorter, so I think that I will be able to get through it pretty quickly. Also, this sounds more interesting to me than The Hate U Give, but I still want to read that. Anyway, this is about a boy called Justice who is an not Ivy League. He's heading for Ivy League, he's an honor student, he's doing really well, and then he gets arrested by the police and gets caught up in kind of, accidentally being arrested, and then he starts writing letters to Dr. Martin Luther King to try and come to terms with the situation of race and police that is happening in America. At least that's what I've gathered from hearing people speak about it. I'm really excited to read it. It's going to be the first one that I pick up actually for this challenge. Anyway, that is my TBR list. As I said, if things get a little bit hectic, because I do start uni on the Monday of that week, I will rearrange this slightly to keep, not add any other books, but rearrange it so that I'm reading things in different categories so that I tick off every category but double up. And if I do buy another book before then, which is highly likely because I'm going to Adelaide next Wednesday, I will try and make it short and I will try and squeeze that in. I will see you in a few days. If you're watching this video on the day I put it up, I will have my Term Topple week 1, a readathon week 1 reading vlog because I'm going to combine them, and then I will have my week 2, and then I will have all my challenges for the Biannual Bibliothon. So make sure that you keep checking back here. I've got a lot of fun stuff coming and I would love to hear what you think about it. Bye.